A murder mystery. Remote village, lot of people. Suddenly the detective comes, saves the day. Growing up as a Bengali, we were obsessed with these kind of stories, whether it's Bomkesh Bokshi, Feluda, Kaka Babu, Eken Babu, lot of these different detective thrillers would get released, and we would just stay hooked in our TVs to watch. Even YouTube also, there were a lot of these movies that came in. But then we were introduced to the international audience, Sherlock Holmes. And then recently, right now, I remember watching Murder on the Orient Express in the movie theater, not a good experience at all. But then when I realized that Netflix came out with Knives Out, that was like a breath of fresh air. The first movie in itself, which had that was the first Ana de Armas movie I saw, but I mainly watched it for two people. One is our James Bond, and then Daniel Craig, and then of course Captain America, Chris Evans. A lot of interesting things happened in that movie, and then they came up with another part in 2022, and then this was the Knives Out, waking up from the dead. That was pretty much, I guess, the name. So the movie is very well structured, the perfect blend of the Catholic faith, how a priest who was earlier a boxer falls in, hits a fellow priest, and then he's stationed into a remote village as one of the priests to take over. Once he goes there, he realizes there's a lot of stuff that is not going right, and that's what unfolds the movie. Now, you get the feeling as an audience when you are able to predict what's going to happen. What is also surprising is when you predict what's going to happen, and that's exactly what happens at the end. But every single time, every detective movie shocks us by adding those twists and turns as the reveal period gets in. Now, in the previous two Knives Out movies, it was all pretty clear. He got the all the characters in the same room, and he discovered and broke down all the reveals one by one. This time, though, there were so many different multiple subplots and touch points that made every single element of this movie beautiful. What's also very interesting to understand is how the faith is used as a character in itself. Faith that the priest had towards the religion of Christianity, the faith that the people had towards the church and the main priest over there before this boxer priest moved in, the subtle humorous touch that was also added. There were loads of references of Netflix and Substack and writers and social media and all of these little things perfectly interspersed, which made it a very unique experience as a viewer. Again, it is a detective thriller, but it has that multiple layers also. What was even more interesting, personally, I felt, is this movie was not about Daniel Craig coming in and stealing the show. No. They allowed the story to blend in, setting the context, giving a backstory of all the characters in that church who are regular visitors in that church, and then slowly adding up, leading up to the actual murder and then the revelation. A lot of amazing things that I personally felt while watching the movie. First was our Arrow, no? Jeremy Renner from the Marvel movies, to see him slightly older version. Of course, we know that he went through such a big traumatic experience, and to see him come back and act that way, it felt really good to watch. Lots of love, Jeremy sir. I mean, I hope someday we get to meet you. And then one of my most favorites, Mila Kunis. I watched Friends with Benefits. That's the last movie I remember watching. It was so good. And I think Bad Moms, she was also there in both those movies. But now to see her as that detective, I mean, her face has completely changed. That's very weird to see, but it felt really good to see all these characters. And the best part was to see Thanos in the priest's role. I mean, initially I felt like I think I watched him somewhere and all. I was getting confused with quite a few other heroes, but then I searched. immediately and was able to see, oh my God, Josh Brolin is also there. So a very, very well directed thing. The background music always held the nerve. What's also very interesting is the way the structures and characterizations perfectly added the plots, later reveals, and it's a very interesting observation. Okay, in the church there was this light coming in and coming out, the natural sunlight, and that was very, very surprising and added to the essence of the conversations happening within the church. So it was really, really a phenomenal watch. 7.5 in the IMDb is what I saw uh, just before watching the movie. At this point of time, it might have changed a little bit here and there. A great watch. I hope that more such thriller movies keeps coming in, because it always keeps you in the edge. But then for those of you who are watching out, again, I would love to know if you have to rate Knives Out, Sherlock Holmes, Bomkesh Bokshi, Feluda, Kaka Babu, and all our detective sleuths. Which character do you enjoy the most, and whose stories would you like to go through the most? Please do let me know below. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, share this with someone you know. And of course, we will meet you in the next episode, keeping the fingers crossed that Susmit is going to join us. With that, this is Dr. Suryadeep. Love you so much. See you in the next one.